Seth MacFarlane's birthday is on October 26th, and Back to the Future, that iconic day in Back to the Future, the day after, in which it begins in Marty McFly's present, October 25th, 1985, and then the night of wee hours of October 26th, 1985, and then the morning of October 27th, 1985. Yeah, October 26th is Seth MacFarlane's birthday, which I think may be why, Family Guy references Back to the Future many times. I think my most favorite Back to the Future episodes are Family Guy, like when the juice is loose when Stewie's trying to get the television satellite dish to work, and then there's a rainstorm, and then Michael J. Fox appears to have traveled forward in time from 1985 to 2007, and he shouts to Stewie, "I have to tell you about the future!" And then Stewie says, "No, Michael, I have to tell you about your future." Seth MacFarlane does a very good impression of Michael J. Fox's voice for all these Back to the Future parody scenes. And then, of course, I also liked how in hashtag Jolo, when, people are in the diner asking, what's that thing he's on? It's a chair with wheels. And, they actually got Leah Thompson in that Family Guy episode to play an animated version of her character, Elaine Baines, where she gets to repeat her iconic quote.
It's an absolute dream.
When they watched Joe Swanson on the zip line with his wheelchair.
He's an absolute dream.
I always found the Family Guy episode Meet the Quagmires kind of interesting because Meet the Quagmires, well, it's the Family Guy episode from the end of season 5, which was a whole plot reference from Back to the Future, which answers the question of what if instead of Marty McFly going back in time to become friends with his friends when they were in high school and needing to fix their relationship, the problem was caused by George McFly wanting to relive his high school years and then causing the problem that he needs to fix. Okay, so yeah, in this scenario, they meet the Quagmires when Death makes a mistake because he thinks that Horace died after he fell down from the ladder, and then grants Peter, and then Peter asks him for the opportunity to travel back in time and relive his high school years, so he sends Brian and Peter back in time to 1984. Yeah, and then in this new set of Meet the Quagmires, which is that parodies Back to the Future with the somewhat different setup. Peter Griffin is George McFly, Lois, Peter Schmidt is Lorraine Baines, Glenn Quagmire's 10, the little predator who competes with the main boy for the girlfriend's affections, and Brian Griffin is Marty McFly, who performs the song at the end. Although, except of course, Brian is Peter's pet dog instead of one of his children. Yeah, I actually thought it was pretty funny that, Back to the Future, Marty McFly performs Johnny Be Good, and then in the 1980s, Brian has another iconic song to perform a few years before it exists. It's the iconic Rickroll song, "Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down." I actually have a clip of Brian playing it.
Can't believe you're all mine. You and me for all time.
Just kidding. All I showed you was my new version of the Rickroll meme. A Molly Mo, the theme song to The Ghost and Molly McGee. Fun facts. When I had to recharge my camera, I accidentally fell back in time to 2017, and my high school was having we're having a Halloween prom night, which had a whole multi-decade setup because we were celebrating the 20-year anniversary of Sabrina the Teenage Witch's Time Ball crossover from its first season on October 31st, 1997. It was crossover with the Boy Meets World, You Wish and Teen Angel, and I needed to help a couple of my friends fall in love, so that's why, or I played that song, and it really helped them dance. Yeah, for me it was a very fun ride to relive my last Halloween party in high school and get to do what I got to do, the thing that Marty McFly did in 1955 and what Brian Griffin did in 1984. Yeah, I really love to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, especially for that time long crossover in the Goddess Sabrina, which is 25 years old now. I honestly think Halloween's the perfect day to air such an ambitious crossover episode that changes the decade of the other television shows on the same programming that are on ABC's Friday night programming block with Sabrina the Teenage Witch in the fall of 1997. Before Sabrina the Teenage Witch, my mom got to see Melissa Joan Hart in a live studio audience for a failed spin-off pilot after Clarissa Explains It All. Yeah, before I was born, my mom got to meet Melissa Joan Hart in 1996 and Walter Koenig at a Star Trek convention in 1997. Now, I have two stars from 2015 who are also very special guests I brought into this video. Patrick Star and Star Butterfly. Yeah, Patrick Star told me that he likes the year 2015 because that's the year when he and his friends went to the surface world to become superheroes and steal the Krabby Patty formula from Burger Beard. I liked it too. I believe Sponge Out of Water is the best out of all three SpongeBob movies because it gives the most main characters of SpongeBob SquarePants the most to do in this plot. I mean, sure, it doesn't have a lot of, emotional character journeys like the first SpongeBob movie had with SpongeBob and Patrick wanting, being immature adults who act like kids and want to be men, and then learn it's okay to be a kid because you can still be a brave, mature hero in spite of it. And I think Mr. Renner will really appreciate Sponge Out of Water for not following the whole formula of the glorified road trip formula of the animation genre, especially when it comes to animated films based on television shows. I guess the Bob's Burgers movie understood better than anyone that you don't need to go outside the familiar world of your TV show to have a big cinematic movie plot, a movie-length plot, where your main characters have a deep journey of self-discovery. It was really nice that Sponge Out of Water knew how to have an exciting storyline that stayed in Bikini Bottom most of the time, because it's not until the final third of the film when the main characters go above water and become CGI. It really made the movie more exciting to watch was the fact that the trailers, with all the focus the trailers put on the going above water, they didn't show us the other cool time travel stuff that SpongeBob and Plankton did before that point. And the trailers do at least show some of the 2D animated scenes as well. And Star Butterfly also likes the year 2015 because, that's usually that that's usually Marco Diaz and Thomas. And Star Butterfly has also told me that, for the record, that she can do, she can do magic to do a lot of the things that the Back to the Future's fictional 2015 technology can do. Star Butterfly knows magic spells to make food grow, or just create food. Those are always funny. Like, I know she has a spell for pancakes and syrup. And Star has the telephone in the form of a magic compact disc mirror. She can use magic to turn skateboards into hoverboards, so they don't need to have any wheels. And she can also make Marco's shoes tie themselves. This Back to the Future DVD has a bonus short on bonus disc 2, where there are 2 discs consisting of bonus features, and on the second bonus disc there's a 2015 short where they filmed a new short with Christopher Lloyd for 2015, where with Back to the Future is in-year's explanation for why we do not have the same 2015 technologies that we saw in Back to the Future Part 2, in which Emmett Brown has destroyed the nuclear fusion reactor, the oven that cooks food, that instantly cooks food with hydration, shoes with power laces that tie themselves, and hoverboards, which are skateboards that can fly without wheels and just hover engines. Because Emmett Brown needs to stop those future technologies from existing in our 2015 because while Bob Gale and Back to the Future's production designer Rick Carter wanted to create an optimistic view of the future where the problems are caused by the people who exist in the future, like for instance Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, rather than the advancement of technology causing the problems like in Blade Runner. And even in this Back to the Future short called Doc Saves the World, they remain true to that idea because while those were all useful inventions for the Back to the Future characters to have in 2015 that made life more convenient for them, the reason why Emmett Brown had to stop those technologies from existing was because the advanced convenience of these technologies have caused humans to turn obese by 2045. I'm glad that Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale learned something from WALL-E there, that even if advanced future technologies don't take over and destroy our world, they could still cause normal, non-evil people to become lazy and not need to do anything for themselves. It's because the shoes that everyone gets overweight in the future because with those power lace shoes, people no longer have to bend down or look down at their feet to tie their shoes. And the food growth hydrators were a problem because you can also use them to make food grow. You can make food that has already been hydrated grow larger than normal. And hoverboards have eliminated the need to walk anywhere. That, of course, that eventually backfires on the use for which hoverboards were created when people become too overweight to even use them anymore. And they're too heavy for the hoverboards to carry them unless you make... And the only way to do that is... The only way to accommodate overweight people are to make hoverboards in bigger sizes. We're strong enough to lift obese people. See, Emmett Brown saves our future by eliminating those technologies from existence, but however, he has to do it at a later point in 2015 from when he and Marty and Jennifer came to October 21st, 2015, because my mom and I both knew that Emmett Brown still doesn't want to interfere with the other situations for which Marty used that hoverboard at the end of Back to the Future Part 2 in 1955 and the end of Back to the Future Part 3 in 1885. Oh yeah. Star Butterfly told me that her magic hoverboards are better than Back to the Future because Back to the Future's hoverboards because her magic hovering skateboards can float on water and Back to the Future scientific hoverboards can't.